RTS genre needs a shake-up. I was really rooting for Tempest Rising. I played the beta and it was great, but ultimately, and if we're being honest with ourselves, it was everything that we'd already seen before. Same wall, different lick of paint. And at this point, the RTS genre has been filled more times than my nan's kettle with the same old gameplay. One exception to that seems to be Age of Empires, but that has a uniqueness unlike no other, with constant updates and a loyal fan base. So no need to be suspicious about that one.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Command Conquer was the first out the gate, but not necessarily the best polished version of it, technically speaking. The reason everyone loves Command Conquer is for the nostalgia, and I know this for certain because I checked the Steam charts and Command Conquer Remastered is doing better than Tempest Rising in terms of numbers. Not a definitive way to tell, but a pretty darn telling one, especially as it was released back in June 2020, which, by the way, where the fuck is that time gone? Like, my first child was only 3 months old. Wonder I got so much game time back then. The reality is me and many others are bored of this same old formula that these RTSs provide. It's like Call of Duty at this point, but they just come out less frequently. The RTS genre faces an uphill battle, difficult to make, hard to balance, and with MOBAs, ARPGs and Battle Royales dominating the gaming scene, the thought of sitting at a PC to play these sweaty action per minute fueled one-trick strategy games are not fun and they get old super fast. To Tempest Rising's credit, it looks incredible. Very well polished game, great soundtrack, but essentially it's an old formula dressed up in a new suit. Command Conquer Remasters are always an easy cash grab because the nostalgia will make EA back their money easily, but these newer games inspired by Command Conquer not really pushing the genre forward and in my opinion are setting themselves up for failure. A safe and modest approach, but one ultimately made to sizzle out of relevance. You want my take on what lacks RTS these days? Customization. For whatever reason, we never really scoped this out. In Fortnite you can have hundreds if not thousands of the same character but with different monetizations, add your own personality to it, have a different character, you got battle passes to keep that revenue steady, and it gives players just ultimate customization of their character. Why has this never been implemented properly in RTS outside of a color change? I mean, it's 2025, make it work. And I know this one is controversial because if units look too different and it might be hard to tell them apart, but my answer to that is make a unique, incredible unit where it's obvious what it is. And we're not talking about model changes here. Initially, it's just skins, wraps, you know, like a Call of Duty gun. Looks ridiculous, has a mad skin on it, but to its credit, it still looks like that gun, right? No customization is always in game upgrades. Everything becomes predictable. It makes it easy to tunnel into one tricks because outside of the map and the faction, after that it just becomes knowledge, one tricks and actions per minute. My solution is to have a dice roll at the start of the game that gives buffs and weaknesses to units based on maybe the weather or the terrain or the location, and maybe events that happen at random intervals like map invasions or avalanches or world events that just happen. Yeah, the randomness may or may not favour you, but if you pull through it, it'll be much more rewarding when you finally win. Let's just say, for example, that rocket bike tactic that you always used is going to be much weaker this match because the fog element was activated at the start of the match and rockets are 40% less accurate. So now you need to kind of switch it up. Otherwise, if you carry on using that one trick, you're going to be at a disadvantage this match. Also, there should be random positive bonuses that you can take prior to the match, but they have a negative. I.e., maybe harvesters are stronger and faster, but they store less and take a little longer to collect. But I can't be easily rushed then, because now my harvesters are a lot stronger. Or maybe troops are faster, but they take more damage. Sure, more variability can make it amount into balance, but at least there'd be a lot more variability and a lot more spice and things to look out for within the game. Lastly, better modes. Where is the RTS Battle Royale mode out there? I haven't even seen it. The tower defense style modes, a zombie mode similar to Age of Darkness, but in the RTS scene, I don't see why we're not doing it. Look, I'm not a game designer, so I can spit out these cool ideas and it could be a nightmare to implement. But hey, that's not my job. My job is to be a dad gamer and who wants to play a quality RTS in 2025 that everyone is buzzing about one day, though, right? You know how it goes. This video was sponsored by absolutely nobody. See ya.